us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together. This also goes for every Trinbagonian who going to live in a foreign land. Now is the time to come home and do something, instead of staying out there and freezing. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production.
Now more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production. I want to welcome you to the Hub. Again, we have a unique moment in time to reason, to talk. And I want to encourage those on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to say to the viewers and the listeners, you get a sense from the NNP that they believe Grenadians do not consider certain things in making up their mind or voting for a party when the election comes around. You get the sense that the NNP believes that this thing is a popularity contest between candidate X and candidate Y. So when they launch a candidate, they say, well, they win already. And one then reflects on the NNP time in office and the NDC time in office and what the NDC continues to do. Because remember, the Grenadian people gave the NDC a mandate to govern this country. NNP was there. The Grenadian people, the electorate, at least the majority, removed the NNP, voted against the NNP. Because there are situations where you have the majority of people voting for you and you're not winning to form the government as a party, or you are unable to win the required amount of seats to form the government. In fact, we have seen this here in Grenada before. So it's not about the majority always voting for a party and then they would win, because it's first past the post. You can have one candidate in a constituency getting a lot of votes and winning, and then you can have another candidate in another constituency getting very little, but beating his or her opponent and winning. So it's still based on voter turnout in that constituency. But we saw the majority of people who went out and vote the last elections, they voted for the NDC. And we know that there were people who went out and vote and they voted for NNP. So we are not fooled by that. But I am saying NDC got a mandate. And NNP is of the view that Grenadians will just forget about all the things that the NDC did to transform this place and go to them or support them. When you listen to them on their platforms, you get that sense. It's like the police officers. We have some new police officers about how many classes that graduated since the NDC came into power. 3 or 4. Same thing with prisons. We had either 1 or 2 classes that graduated and came into the prisons and into the police force. But most importantly, the police officers are getting more money every month thanks to the NDC administration. So if it was not for the NDC, the police officers would be receiving $700 and something less, or $800 and something less. And as you go up the rank or ranks, you see more for police officers. So they expect these police officers who have a better work space and place, because the NDC continues to renovate and upgrade police stations. So they have a better workplace and workspace. They have a better salary to take home that they can do so many things with. They expect these police officers to just pick up one morning and support the new nasty party. That is what they expect. Strange, but true. They expect that. They expect the nurses and doctors who've received an increase in their salary. The nurses $500, the doctors $1,000. They expect that these people are going to just pick up and just support them or vote for them, right? The new nasty party. That is what they believe. But you are in power. You never increase the nurse's salary. You never increase the doctor's salary. Now they are enjoying an increase. You expect them to support you? Come on. It's common sense 101. This thing is common sense. And then they have a better workspace and workplace, because the NDC administration continues to renovate medical stations, to upgrade the hospital, and they intend to turn the sod on for the new hospital on the 27th of March. They expect the 60-something farmers who received irrigation systems to enhance their farming. They expect the thousands of farmers who received $9,000, $4,500 after the passage of Beryl, who received concessionary fertilizer, concessionary plants being sold at a really reduced cost, and training and other support. They expect that these farmers would just forget about who assisted them and support the new nasty party. That is what they believe, because they believe it is a popularity contest. And let me just remove this booster here. All right. Let me just, right. We don't entertain obscene. So they expect that. I'm also saying the people who receiving their pension, who never got their pension under the NNP, the 500 plus pensioners who worked hard for government and people, and when time to retire, They expected the pension and the gratuity. No pension, no gratuity. Under the new nasty party. They protest, they march, this is what they do. The NNP never gave them. When the NDC came into power, the NDC gave the 500 plus pensioners who retired, didn't get their money under the new nasty party. They paid them $75.1 million. And every month or every fortnight, they collect their pension. Yeah? So another person under the live here, block that person. All right? These things are easy. You see, some of those folks don't understand. The minute time you come under the live and you start speaking or saying certain things that are not in keeping with our community, I can read it first and I would just block you. And blocking you is 2 seconds. Within 2 seconds, you get blocked. You can't view the program on Facebook. You can't view the program on YouTube. You just can't. I just block you. So that's two. Two of them who came on, just block them. As they come, I don't miss them. Because when you look at their program, the amount of people who view their program is a little bit of people. When you look at the programs that I do, thousands of people view this program and is heard on one of the most popular radio stations in Grenada. So, folks, again, I'm saying they expect these pensioners, right? Let me just give me a little minute there. All right, just one little moment. There. One little moment.
Now the election back and I'll die away. In short, this is what I have to say. Let us forget fights and grudges and concentrate. Come, let us sit and try to relate. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main form today.
Right, thanks for the tolerance there. So again, they expect these pensioners who come from families. Some of them have 3 voters in their house. Some again 5. So they expect these pensioners who are suffering for so long under the new nasty party to just forget about who paid them their pension and have them living in peace and comfort to support them, the new nasty party. That is what they expect. They expect these pensioners to just forget what existed under the new nasty party. They also expect the unestablished workers, thousands of them, I think it's about 5,000 or 6,000, who were in the public service, working, but when they retire, they're going home with no pension and no gratuity. They're going home empty. So the NDC came into power and the NDC put in place a pension for these people. So when they retire, they're going home with a pension. And every month, they're collecting their money. So they expect these people to forget what the NDC did for them and support the new nasty party. That is what they expect. But these people come from families. They also expect the 500 plus small business owners who got assistance under CES up to $30,000. They expect these people to just forget who assisted them, who caused them to bounce back, who caused them to expand their business. They expect these people to just forget about these things. That is what they expect. So when you hear them on the platform, it comes across as though it's a popularity contest. And it's candidate X versus candidate Y. It's more than that. It's way more than that. They expect the young people who attended TAMCC and NULO, or who attended TAMCC and NULO in some cases, meaning that we had thousands of young people who attended TAMCC and NULO before, during the NDC time, and who continue to attend and getting the free tuition, benefiting from that. They expect these young people to forget about it and to support them. The young people who are also benefiting from the free hot meal program or the free laptop and ebooks. 4,000 or so students received a free laptop and ebooks to support them, to make sure that they, can keep up to par with technology and other things and smart learning. They expect the households who benefited from the JUMP program, free internet access, a device, well, $20 for the internet, a free device and training, families and households who never had internet. They expect these people to just forget about who assisted them. Then you look at the WASH program, the amount of families who received modern bathroom and toilets, well painted, well tiled, you have water, electricity, everything there. Well done. They expect all of these families to just forget about all that they've received and the benefits and to support them. All the new schools that are being constructed, all the community centers that are being refurbished, right? The playing fields that have been lit, the basketball courts, netball courts that have been upgraded and lit and so on, the solar lights all around the country, the night landing for Carriacou and Petit-Martinique, the Windward Jetty, the Windward Fish Market, the many new roads in Carriacou, the quick time that the people of Carriacou and Petit-Martinique, took to get back on their feet. While they're not 100% there, but at least they're about 80, 85% there, step by step. But thanks to the leadership of the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell and the Honorable Tevin Andrews. But they expect that all of these benefits, the minimum wage adjustment, where workers like security officers, they were working for $4 an hour. They are now working for $9.50. They expect these security officers to forget all of this. Come on. And we have thousands of security officers in Grenada. They expect the cooks, the cleaners, the geriatric caregivers, the ordinary workers, the housekeepers and so on, who are getting more money as a salary thanks to the minimum wage adjustment by the NDC administration. So they expect these people to forget all about that. The people who are living in Crown lands and they're getting a deed and they plan for Crown lands and they would own it. They expect these people to forget about all of that. Come on. They expect that. The amount of jobs and opportunities that are being created for young people and for people in Grenada. People are at work. People are working. But the NNP, they believe that Grenadians don't understand. So they go on a platform and they just talk. That is what they're accustomed doing. Just talk. and condemn. But Grenadians are smarter. Grenadians are way smarter. So when you look at the NNP meetings, they bossing people to go to these meetings. They bossing people. So you see same faces in nearly all the meetings. It's not like they're having a meeting in the Northeast, St. George Northeast, and people in St. George Northeast that's going to the meeting. No. They're bossing people from all different constituencies to go to those meetings. And it's one set of people everywhere. So NNP is not getting any traction. They're not adding to their numbers. No. Look at the public officers. They didn't have to march and protest for increasing their salaries. No. They didn't have to do that. They got it without marching and protesting. Under the NNP, it was marching, protesting, and everything else. It's different now. Different. So the NDC is serious about people investing in. Look at the amount of scholarships that the NDC gave out over the last 3 years to 4 years. Just look and you would see. You don't have to be, some rocket scientist to understand that the NDC cares about our people. And we can go on and on. Nearly all the major projects and so on, they continue. This pipeline and, sewer upgrades and so on. The NNP lost that project. Some people forget that. But I want to say this. They believe that Grenadians stupid. There are some contractors, and I touched on it this morning, who are intentionally delaying the work that must be done. I'm telling you. And they're doing so intentionally, and they have political agendas. But they're stupid because they're damaging their own reputation and their company's image. And they believe what they're doing is a good thing. And then, when they do those things, the NNP has it as a talking point. When they do those things, the NNP have it as talking points on their platform. So you hear them now talking about the roads, and you don't see the condition of the roads, and is it this and that. But many of the operatives, in my belief, are the ones delaying and stalling. They're contractors, many of them, messing up the whole thing because they want the government to look bad. They want the NNP to have something to say when they go on the platform. The same thing with some of those public officers who tried to undermine the Ministry of Finance, to sabotage payments and so on. And we call them out because they wanted to do those things so that the NNP could have talking points. Just look at the things that they're targeting. Roads, late payments. And they know that has been rectified. They know that because they did not succeed in undermining the government and getting their agenda through. Same thing with the roads. You have to listen to them. Then you hear them talking about security and safety and so on because of the 2 or 3 murders in the recent times. So you hear them ponging on that. And you wonder. But all of these things are not happening in isolation. They are well calculated. And they would undermine, they would sabotage, they would derail, destroy. They would do anything they can to get back into power. And they would do that to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Because they are desperate. They're desperate for power. They want to come back in power. And you ask them, well, how are you so desperate? What it has that you want so bad? We want to know. Because you were there for 20-something years. That's not enough. You still want more years? So I'm saying we have to understand what is at play. They believe that election will be soon. And that is why they started off quite early. But they would get stale over time. They started getting stale already. And I also want you to identify who bring in their meetings, who carry in their meetings. That's all you need to do, and you would know who is who. When stupid season gets closer, it will be even worse. All you need to do is to identify who carrying those meetings that they're having. That's all you need to do. Because I have been talking for quite a while telling you that some of these people, they are known NNP, but they're playing that they're independent. They're playing that they, in fact, one of them who is on social media used to have a huge listenership. Not now. No. The guy fighting to get people to listen to him. Yeah, fighting. People not even bothering with him. And then you look at the TV station where it's alleged a certain party has stake in it. Look at the viewership. Not many people are viewing their stuff. Just check it out for yourself. It's not hard. So more and more people are seeing through them. And I am happy. I'm excited that people are seeing through them. But they believe that the election is some popularity contest between candidate X and candidate Y. You don't hear them talk policy. You don't hear them talk plans. You don't hear them talk initiatives. Nothing. Vision. Nothing. What they do, they go on the platform and they complain, they grind, they groan, they negative, they attack, they blah, blah, blah. Nothing of substance. Nothing of substance. But they believe that Grenadians are still stuck in the period of 2008, 2013. But they're fooling themselves. We are in the age of smart everything. Smartphone, smart watch, smart TV, smart microwave, smart washing machines, smart tablets and laptops and everything smart nowadays. Or people are smarter and they follow current affairs. We're living in the age of artificial intelligence. We can research things, we can find things, we can know more quickly. People know that the NNP was in power before, you know. Yeah. For 23 years and a half. What did you do during that time? Why people remove you? Why the electorate remove you? They remove you because they fed up of your nonsense. Over and over, they fed up. They remove you. They didn't want you. So who tell you after 3, 4, 5 years that they will want you back? I don't understand. What has NDC done that's so bad to cause people to want you back in government? You tell me. What have they done that's so bad? We have not seen conmen and crooks walk into Grenada and con the NDC administration. No, we have not seen that. We have not seen that. During the NNP administration time, those white men came into Grenada over and over and they conned the NNP administration of almost $400 million. They tricked the NNP administration of that taxpayers' money that could have been used to develop this country. So I'm asking NNP, yo, who tell you that the Grenadian people are ready for you? What are you offering that's different? What will you do differently? And you can't answer, but we want to know because you're on a platform talking. What would you do differently in health? What would you do differently in education? What would you do differently in housing? or in agriculture, or in tourism, or in sports, or human resource generally, what will you do differently? Grenadians want to know. And I challenge them because they're talking. They're talking. What will you do differently? You have all kind of bad things to say about NDC this and NDC that. What will you do differently? But you're waiting close to the election to tell people, oh, you go do this and do that, and you pie in the sky, grandiose promises and all those things. No. Grenadians are not falling for that anymore. Gone are those days. Grenadians are more astute, smarter, more clever. But folks, things are happening. Things are happening. And we are proud of our government. Very proud indeed.
A 3-year collective bargaining agreement between the government of Grenada and Grenada Union of Teachers will bring salary increases and enhance benefits for teachers across the public education system. The agreement covers the period January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2028. It provides compounded salary increases of 4% in 2026, 4% in 2027, and 5% in 2028. The government says the deal continues its policy of steady improvements in public sector compensation while maintaining fiscal stability. Eligible teachers will also continue to receive their annual salary increments each January, further boosting their take-home pay during the life of the agreement. Beyond wages, the agreement introduces several measures aimed at improving the teaching environment and supporting educators. These include a $500 annual classroom materials allowance, expanded study leave and scholarship opportunities, and additional staffing support in special education and early childhood institutions. The agreement also recognizes technical and vocational certification, reinforcing the role of modern skills training within the education system. Government officials say the agreement reflects constructive dialogue between both parties and thanked the leadership and membership of the Grenada Union of Teachers for their professionalism throughout the negotiation process. Both sides reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening the education system and supporting teachers who play a critical role in shaping Grenada's future. For GBN News, Janelle Dick.
Right. So again, that's good news for the teachers, and good news for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. Our hospital will soon, the construction of the hospital will soon commence.
I'm here at the project site for Project Polaris. This is the old Calavini estate, purchased by the government of Grenada for our new hospital and medical city construction. There's a lot of activity happening as we get ready for the groundbreaking ceremony happening on the 27th of March. That's a Friday, and it'll begin promptly at 4 p.m. We're inviting everyone to come out and participate in this historic event for Grenada. Be here at 3:30 to get a good position. We'll start promptly at 4.
Right, so Project Polaris will start in terms of the construction. Remember, the government was able to secure almost $1 billion for that project, co-financing from the Afro-Exim Bank and the OPEC Fund for International Development, right? So a loan from there, and they continue to press on. I love that. So they will be turning the sword for the new hospital. All right.
The program Climate Resilience Water Sector in Grenada Challenge Fund for Agriculture is providing farmers with water-efficient technologies, including drip irrigation systems, micro sprinklers, and rainwater harvesting tanks to help manage water shortages caused by reduced rainfall and drought conditions. So far, more than 69 farmers have benefited from the initiative, receiving either drip irrigation, micro sprinkler systems, rainwater harvesting equipment, or a combination of these technologies. 20 farmers have received support through the Challenge Fund for Agriculture, which is being implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture in partnership with the Grenada Development Bank. Officials say the initiative is helping farmers better manage limited water resources while sustaining agricultural production in the face of increasing climate variability. Among the beneficiaries is farmer Teresa Maskey, who says the installation of water tanks and drip irrigation systems has significantly improved the efficiency of her farm. She explained that irrigating crops previously required extensive time and labor, often relying on water cans or hoses with limited rainwater storage. With the addition of 6 tanks and a drip system, she says water costs have decreased while crop yields have increased throughout the year.
To irrigate by watering can or sometimes the hose, and sometimes the water is in Nawasa have a ration, you can use the pipe, so it was really difficult, and the storage that I have for rainwater was so little to accommodate all the water.
Farmer Andel Daniel says the irrigation and rainwater harvesting system will allow him to diversify his crop production. He noted that water stored in the tanks will be used to irrigate seedlings, allowing him to get crops to market faster, while also producing seedlings for other farmers across the country.
Comments for the lines and so forth, it was a little challenge purchasing lines from the hardware here. Right, so they come along good and they supply me some lines, and wow, it was great. And when you come into seedlings, I won't have to be running here everywhere to get seedlings. So I'm going to supply myself with seedlings, and the nation, whosoever wants seedlings as well. Yeah.
Acting Chief Land Use Officer within the Ministry of Agriculture and the UNCCD National Focal Point, Joseph Noel, has assured farmers that all individuals who express interest in the Challenge Fund for Agriculture will receive support before the project concludes. Noel revealed that more micro-sprinkler systems, drip irrigation equipment, rainwater harvesting systems are expected to arrive on island soon. He noted that more than $865,000 has already been spent providing water tanks to farmers, with a further 94 shade houses, including small, medium, and large structures, expected to be distributed.
Equipment arriving in Grenada. We have a number of farmers down to receive support with shade houses.
The G-Cruise project is jointly financed by the Green Climate Fund, the German Federal Ministry of the Environment, Climate Action, Nature Conservation and Nuclear Safety through its International Climate Initiative and the government of Grenada.
So that's a very, very good thing. They're very, very, very good. Just saying, folks, that tomorrow there will be no program tomorrow. All right? I have something very important to attend to, so there is no program tomorrow at all. None in the morning and none during the night time. So there is no program tomorrow, God's willing. All right? Very important that you know. So this morning I played a piece from the St. Patrick Anglican School, primary school children.
Good evening, Mr. Prime Minister. My name is Zania Alexander, and I am a student of the St. Patrick Anglican School, grade 6 CPEA class. We planted lettuce and pop joy using organic manure from goats, fowl, sheep, and cow. Based on our findings, we would like to encourage all of Grenada to
eat what you grow what you eat, using organic manure.
Right, so that's the kids. Yeah, saying to you, eat what you grow what you eat, use organic manure and so on. That's the kids doing that. Huh? Then you look at Emlyn Pay. She is the leader of the opposition. And Emlyn Pay had a video in circulation.
Today I'm visiting one of our communities, and The major cry from every person that I've spoken to thus far is the high cost of living. So today I decided to just stop by this community shop, and I'm looking at, this is actually 8 essential items. And you would not believe it, this is almost $50. Most of these items, according to the shopkeeper, would have increased in cost by about $1 in the last year or two. The question is, how many families could afford to pay $50 for 8 basic items? And we're talking basically a pack of flour, lentil peas, sardine, mackerel, oil, sugar, rice, and milk. Grenadians throughout this country are extremely stressed over the high cost of living, affecting everyone in our society. And so we are demanding of this administration, you must do something to bring relief to the people.
Yeah, so Emlyn Pay, because we saw the kids. I just played the kids a while ago. Emlyn Pay had this video, and it's still up, talking about cost of living. And she showed there a Fuji mackerel, the most expensive mackerel you could find, no matter who in government. She showed a Brunswick sardine. It's one of the more expensive sardines. And then she moved to rice, sugar, oil, a tin of Alaska milk, which is very expensive because of the brand. There are other milk, but the Alaska is expensive, and the Dutch Lady. So she showed all these things. They are not made here. They're imported. And the majority of them are zero rated when it comes to VAT. Government doesn't collect any VAT on it. So government can't do anything about it. They are not made here in Grenada. It's not like the government could say to the factory that's making Fuji mackerel, we're going to give you some concession, we're going to give you some incentives, we're going to give you this and that. No. It's not made here. So what Emlyn should be doing is to promote local stuff and try to encourage her supporters and the people of Grenada to plant local stuff, to invest in backyard gardening. And it doesn't have to be anything much. The seasoning that you buy in the bottle, sometimes you look at it, it's like fresh coal. I'm telling you. And a whole pile of vinegar and a whole pile of... If you can plant your own chive and celery and thyme, and you can do it in a barrel, a piece of barrel, or tires or whatever you set up. Easy. Your own rosemary, you can do those things. Then lettuce. You can just go by, let's say, one of those nursery and get 6 lettuce, right? Lettuce, the seedlings, 6 lettuce, 6 cabbages, 6 tomatoes, 6 cucumber, the seeds, a pack of cucumber seeds, a pack of those different short crops, sweet pepper, and those things. You don't need much. 6. That's all. You can plant like a pumpkin. In fact, if you throw the pumpkin seed in the yard or in the backyard, it will grow. You can plant your spinach on your tree or close to your fence or whatever. It will grow. Then you may have a coconut tree. You may have dry coconuts. You can get those. You can plant those things. You can plant you get in a banana plant or a blogger or planting from your neighbor or somebody, and you plant that. In a couple of months, you're smiling. You're smiling. And then you have maybe a drain or some area, you could just plant some callaloo. You might stick 2 beans in the soil. You put up your, after a while you put your sticks and so on. Now for now, you're getting stuff in your backyard within no time. So instead of encouraging people to plant, I went today by my neighbor, just lower down, and I saw she had pak choy, lettuce, some tomatoes, cucumber, right there in the yard. Right there, planted. Look, my next neighbor, just before he left, he said, Kem Jones, I have something for you. About 6 corn, green corn. 6. He planted it, and within no time he harvested. Say, Kem Jones, look. So I am saying, instead of encouraging our people to use the old mackerel and sardine and rice and sugar and that kind of stuff, I'm saying, why not encourage our people to plant and focus on local stuff? And yes, I saw a piece with Emlyn Pay in the parliament telling us why cost of living is so high during our time. I saw that piece. And people know why cost of living is high all around the world. And it will get higher because gas price will go up, all petroleum products will go up, and it's being used to make those stuff. So that too will go up. And because freight and so on is affected by all this war and so on, so you could ban your belly and expect that. Simple. But I am saying, instead of the woman encouraging people to plant local stuff and to invest in a little backyard garden or do some backyard gardening and so on, the woman is out there talking about Fuji mackerel and Brunswick sardine and Grace rice, right? Or Alaska Dutch lady milk, Oritide oil or some, whatever the name, and all these different funny names of the stuff. Come on. We have fertile soil here. Excuse me. And you should lead. You should be the first, encouraging people to plant and invest in a little backyard gardening and do. In fact, you can have a greenhouse right in your yard. And you could plant a whole pile of stuff there. People are into hydroponics and all different things like that, with the pipes and the, given the right amount of water and fertilizer and everything like that to the plants. And within no time, you'll marvel. And then we have the mangoes, a lot. When in season, you could pulp it, you could put it in the fridge, you could blend it. When you have avocado in season, no gum, avocado lap and cut, you could freeze it. When you have tomatoes in season, it's just a lot. You could freeze it. Sauce up, you could pulp it, you could freeze it. The same swivel orange, right? Or Seville orange or Seville orange or whatever they call it. We know what we're talking about, right? And the gospo and the lime and the grapefruit and the mandarin and all them. Hello. We can squeeze it and bag it up and freeze it and make. And we have those things lap and cut, left, right, and center. Left, right, and center in Grenada. We have those stuff. So I am saying we need to appreciate that our soil is fertile. Yeah, I see Norris saying, check your WhatsApp. All right, so that means my phone is actually charging. So maybe I can just check it there. I don't know what he's referring to. Norris is a good soldier, good young man. So maybe I can check and see what he's referring to. All right. check your WhatsApp. He said, hey, check your WhatsApp, check your WhatsApp. Which one of them? Remember, I have a lot. Which one, Norris, you're referring to? I don't know. All right, Norris, I don't know which one you're referring to. Let me see here. I don't know which one you're referring to, my brother, but I could maybe check it and see which one of the phones you're referring to. All right, so Norris said here. He said, all right. Hey, that happened. That's happening at the Maribel Farm School elevator. All right, so my boy sent me some videos there of the elevator. You know, young women planting their thing and doing their thing. All right. So thanks there, my brother. Thank you there indeed. All right. So I can feature that another time. But huge lettuce. Huge lettuce. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah. So yeah, I actually checked it. Thank you very much there, Norris. I can actually feature that another time on the program, because I would have to send it on my email and that kind of stuff and download it and then, and then play it on the program and so on. So I'll do that another time. But thanks very much. So we can do it. But instead of Emlyn Pay encouraging Grenadians, encouraging the NNP supporters to plant, and all you need to do, just do six in them things. If you could plant more, so be it. But you don't have to do a lot. And then what you would see happening, you would be spending less on food, because you could mix it. I'm not saying to you, you need to do away completely with imported stuff, because that's very hard to do. Very hard to do. So you could mix it and it becomes cheaper. You can go by the bay, you get in anchovy, cha-cha, jacks, fish. All right? You can go fishing on the beach, any beach, on the stones, you and friends. And you get fish to last you for a whole week or two. Come on. You can team up with friends who have land and say, well, let me raise some chicken now. I go put 12, you go put 12. You have a little cube, as we would say it, a little area, or maybe a little pig pen, or maybe some goats or sheep. We have to start thinking in that light. Look at what's happening around the world. And with that war that's happening, the price of goods gone up. The price of oil and gas and this and gone up already. So we have to prepare for those shocks, prepare for those things. But instead of encouraging people to plant local stuff, Emlyn Pierre talking nonsense about Fuji mackerel, brown sugar, condensed milk, and sardine. Come on. Our people are smarter than that. Our people understand that you're a fake when it comes to your love for people and Grenada. You're a fake. You pretend to be what you're not. But over time, people would see your true colors, and we've seen it now. Why you're not out there encouraging people to plant and do local stuff? That is what you have to do. Because if you have 1 week, 7 days, you're working, let's say, 5 days out of that, or maybe 6. You may decide to do a kalaloo soup during that week, pumpkin soup, or maybe a dry pea soup. And then you do the dry food. You might do a provision and salt fish. You might do, maybe some rice and peas, and some salad, and, maybe some steamed fish, fried fish, things like that. You may do that. Dry food. You may do a little pizza. You may do some mushroom and bell peppers and then nice up yourself. You may do that with some shrimps or whatever. You may mix it up, or maybe some fried jacks and whatever. But if you have the local stuff in the mix, then everything becomes cheaper for you. Just one or two things you may have to buy. So you have to be smart. And that is what Emlyn Pay should be encouraging people to do. You go mix the thing. I'm not saying to you that you won't make a porridge and you wouldn't need milk. I'm not saying that. We make a Tanya log porridge. You grate the Tanya, don't blend it. You won't come out nice. Grate it. You might blend the coconut or grate the coconut. It's up to you. Put your nice little cinnamon and thing and nice it up. Right? You may do another porridge. Right now you have white yam porridge, the white yam, and you're joking. But we have an abundance of food and the soil is good. So we have to encourage our people. And when fig or bananas we see bearing or throwing as we see, everywhere you look, you're seeing it. You're seeing some bunch. It's just like mango and thing too, you know. When in season, you know. Yeah. Blogger, planting, same thing. And right now we have a lot of citrus. A lot of citrus. Right now. It's kind of dry season, a lot of citrus. We can take advantage of that. We can take advantage of that, people. So if you're buying the boxes and all kind of, like today, for example, I had my mother squeeze about 4 swivel orange, or, you know, the sweet gospel, sweet one. And I just squeeze she squeezed the lemon in it and I drank that. I didn't have to go and take the vitamin C, we call it, is it effervescence, whatever the little thing that melts and you know, in water. I had it right there. Right there. And you have a lot of watermelon now in season. During the day, sun hot, you cut a piece of watermelon and you're good to go. Come on. You have a lot of those things in season, in Grenada. That is what you have to encourage people to do. Plant. Use up those stuff. We have it spoiling sometimes. Come on. But instead of that, you talking about Fuji mackerel. Fuji mackerel is the most expensive mackerel on the market. And I would tell you, some of those mackerel and sardine, when you open it, it's as though that Jack's fish, whatever they use, same as though it was in fridge a long time or dead a long time. You can never beat back local stuff. Never. So, folks, New York comes alive on May the 16th.
On Saturday, May 16th, Brooklyn will come alive with live acoustic performances from some of Grenada's top local acts, setting the stage for an evening that celebrates culture, cuisine, and community. Set in an atmosphere of refined elegance, guests will enjoy a curated Caribbean culinary experience. The evening will also feature a special keynote address by the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada. This premier fundraising affair promises an unforgettable experience where flavor, music, and purpose come together for a truly meaningful evening. Tickets are available now on GoToFate and Eventbrite. Secure yours early and be part of an extraordinary night.
Yeah, so don't forget, New York comes alive on the 16th of May. 16th of May, get your tickets. They are going fast. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. All right? And you can get it on GoToFet, Eventbrite. You can get your tickets. They are going fast. Mr. Killer will be performing. Tara, the governor, will be performing. Sakina and the band will be performing. Skinny, Mr. Golden will be performing. Skinny Banton, I think. Right, but quite a number of artists. And the most honorable, Deacon Mitchell, will be at the center of it all. All right, so it's May the 16th. That's a Saturday. Saturday, May the 16th. And I will be there at this particular event. Looking forward to seeing you. Folks, I want to wish you all the best. Remember, tomorrow there is no program tomorrow morning, no program during the night. Take good care. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. And I'll be back with you hopefully on Friday, God's willing. It might even be on Monday. I could tell you that. Might even be as far as Monday, God's willing. Let's see what happens. All right? So take good care.